And the one fish, two fish. And the one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. And the one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. All right, Twitch sounds good. And a red fish, blue fish. Let's go check YouTube. Where's my YouTube when you need it? There it is. Let's view my channel. Let's come over here. I am live. Channel. There we go. Let's come over here. I'm sounding good over on the YouTube. All right, we're good to go. I am live. Channel. There we go. All right, we're going to work on the Neo-Asia? I think I'm just going to call it Neo-Asia outfit. It's basically a clubbing version of a Shangsam. And I'm not doing the frogs right. That's okay. I have made good progress on the Deadline reporter outfit. Hopefully, I just have to add a few more morphs and then do things like these. Need some thumbnails and some polishing, and hopefully I will submit that. I'm gonna hopefully I can start submitting it tomorrow. Get it done by the weekend, and then we can go full bore on the Neo-Asian. And then I'm not sure what I'm doing after that. I don't know. What did I have in mind? Oh, I wanted for, that's right, September. So stuff made in September will hopefully go on sale in October. So after Labor Day, it's spooky season. So I think in that case, I was thinking doing an angel and a devil outfit. Sexy costume, angel and devil. So did I set this up yet? I haven't even set up folders for this thing yet. So we were getting it into Daz, but I threw all that away because we don't even have folders yet. So let's set up some folders for this. Let's get that stuff set up in Daz. When we come back Saturday, I will probably make the short boots to go with this, if I can find them again. I think I saw a picture somewhere and it ended up on being on Shein. Don't shop Shein; it's evil. But anyhow, let's do this. Let me see if I can remember where we were. Let's go over to projects. So actually, you are in a folder. I should have stuck you in the dress directories. You know what? I can still do that. We haven't set up a folder for this. So we're going to take Neo-Asia. Neo-Asia begins with an N right there. I'm going to cut that. I'm going to just move it over into my dress folder. We'll put it in here. Kind of try to keep that main folder a little cleaner. So just paste that in there. And we need to set up folders in here for Daz. So let's get that going. So let's pop over here. Let's go into the templates. I gotta rework my templates, I think. So let's do a little bit of work on the templates. So what I'm going to do is, let's see, what do I got here? And we'll open this up. I don't need documentation in here anymore. That was a Renderosity thing. We do need the data, although that will automatically. I do need people. I probably should drop in a. I do have over here. This is looking good. All right, let's take a look at what we got here. Shaders. I don't need a shader folder there. And I need a, you know what I do need in here? I don't actually need that, but I do need these two. We'll copy these and put it into this template folder here. Paste that. I'm not actually going to need a whip folder. Why did my, I do need a runtime folder in here though. I'm not seeing it. Did you not update? There it is. Okay, so that's good. And here, let's do this. Let's just make a generic new folder, the outfit. Well, we're going to make that the outfit folder. And I'm just going to put a G9 in here. Remind me to type in G9. I'm going to run over and steal a material file from somewhere. We'll steal it from the deadline outfit here. Business suit. So we're going to just come down here. And I'm just going to grab this here, copy that. Come back over to here, paste that there. Okay, there's a material folder. So what we don't need is these are specific. We're going to get rid of all of that. Okay, I did copy. Okay. DForce presets. So I do want to keep these, but I don't need these. So this is just a generic simulation settings. So hierarchical materials. I'm just going to clean all of that out. And the rest of this should be good. You know what I also need is I need to set up my generic textures, which I keep forgetting to do. Which I don't have in here. So you probably... I have some generic shaders, and they call for some generic texture files. So I kind of need to include those in every project as well. But I don't actually have that in the current project, so I'm going to have to remember to add that in. So let's just take a peek over in here, in runtime and textures, and down in here. Right there, that generic, I need that. Actually, can I just copy, we'll just copy this. And just paste that right there. And I don't need that. And these are just generic files that I use incessantly. And one other thing, I actually do need this over in the current project because I apparently haven't done that there. So just copy that and bring you over to here somewhere, right down in here. There we go. Should be good. All right. I'm still setting up the template file. I'm going to make the Genesis 8 version. Copy that. Come over here, here, and in here. Just paste that right there. These are all just stubs, and then we're just going to Genesis 8 female. All right, should be good. All right, so I need this, this, and this because we already have a WIP folder. Copy those. I don't actually need a data directory. That will be automatically generated when I start saving stuff. And yep, addresses, Neo-Asia. I'm just going to paste all of this right there. So that's just kind of like a generic stub that I can just build our directory off of. Do you actually have in this should actually have a vanity folder in it as well. So we'll just make sure we have a vanity folder in here. In the template folder. Alrighty, I think we're good to go. All right, so in DAZ, we're going to set up the Neo-Asia. So let's come over to, I'm in the content library. So let's do this, boom. content directory manager. I need to clean up a whole bunch of stuff that's not useful in there anymore. I'll do that later. We'll go to DAS file formats. Open that up. Actually, I can kind of do a little bit of cleanup now. So a lot of these are released products, so I can go through. We'll start reporter suit. I'm going to work on that later. Plaid skirt outfit, action spy. I know that's in the store. So we remove that. Daisy dress is in the store. I want to say dancers in the store, but I can't remember. Toe caps. I probably need to get rid of that. That is another dancer outfit. I don't know what that is. Maiden of Mars Oracle outfit is in the store. It's the Maiden Servant outfit. Snake Den. I'm going to leave that there. There's the 50 James Dean Rebel. Spring 2025. I think we got that. Party. Synth swimsuit is in the store. Sporty swim. I'm not sure. Did you end up being the Akvo? I think that ended up being Akvo, didn't it? Okay. Pulp Starheart in the store. Summer Blush is done. Uh-oh. Spam risk. All right, Summer 02. Pretty sure that is done. Does that say 40s underwear? That is the Liberty lingerie. Rockabilly 2025. That's the Rockabilly dress. Nocturne Down is done. Twilight Teddy. Sultry bodysuit. I think that was the last thing that got released, right? Maybe not. Was it the Go-Go outfit? Actually, Go-Go outfit, then Sultry got done. Coquin suit is still waiting. Okay, so I'm going to put that there. I still have a lot of other stuff I can clean up in here too, but let's add that Neo Asia. So those are over in dresses now. And somewhere in here, there it is, Neo Asia. There we go. I think I'm just going to make that one word. Am I going to be bad and make that one word? No, I'm going to hyphenate it. I think Daz gets a little weird with caps in the middle of the words, so we'll leave the hyphen in there, and it'll be the Neo Asian outfit. I think I'm good. All right, there it is, Neo Asia. Can I refresh? No. Why I see nothing in here? Because my refresh went wonky. All right, let's try this again. Let's see if we can just knock this loose. Occasionally my content directory gets a little funny. And I think I don't know. I know Jay once upon a time said that weird things can happen if you have too many of these things. I just need that many of them though. Really, dude. So right here, we're going to replace that. I'll just do a rename on that. No, I don't want to delete. I want to rename, refresh, rename. There it is. So this part here, Neo Asia. And we'll do the same thing over here. I'm in the material folder now, damn it. Okay, let's accept that. All right, we got a place to save stuff. I think the dress was all ready to come in. when I was last looking at it? Well, let's find out. So we're going to set it up, do the quick rigging, and then maybe get it over into Substance, and maybe we can get some texture set up. So let's do, are you my import? You're an export. There's my import. Going over to dresses. If I say date modified, does that put New Asian near the top? It does. Why do you think? And in the whip folder, and we'll do the top. I think I have to scale this up. I'm set up to do scaling anyhow. So how are you looking? You're not right. Which one did I bring in? I brought in the G9F. Okay, there's my problem. I don't want the G9. I want the top. There it is. And it is scaled. It says 94.1. So I know that's. So I do have to scale it. And that's what we got going on here. That's better. That's a little wonky. Oh, actually, this isn't how I do this. We do the Genesis 9 first, then I convert over the Genesis 8, then I update the geometry with the G8 version. Oh, God, there we go. All right, let's import in. So I need this top here. And that just is going to be. What happened to my custom numbers? Why are you gone? What the hell? I think that's right. Do you 10,000? Nope, I did that wrong, didn't I? I think that might have been 100,000. We'll try again. My import settings are gone. Oh no, wait, the import settings are over. Oh well. All right. 10, 1, 2, 3. There we go. That is the female version of that top. Let's try this again. Oh yeah, it has an F on there. Doy. Hey, somebody said something just in time for me to not be able to see. There we go. Yo, Lund, how are you doing? It is. Sometimes it be like that though, right? You missed the exciting part of me putting together a directory structure. Um, yeah, my I thought I had settings. Maybe I'm getting it confused with the morph input. I thought I had a setting for OBJ imports though, but it might have been the morphs. So now I'm just having to type it in. Messing around with CC5. Ooh. Is it nice? I'm importing. There we go. We're going to do the squat. I'm going to accept that. All right, we're good to go. Let's rig. Let's just actually we're going to double check a few things. Yay, I have surfaces. I have more surfaces. We're going to put D-force on these and we're going to check them really quick. When I checked this yesterday, it all fell apart. So we had to do a little bit of reworking, but it's looking good now. All right, now we'll do the transfer tool. Okay, and we're going to take my Genesis 9, and we're going to take that top, and I'm going to use a, you know what, I'm going to call that a tight bodysuit. Bodysuit tight template should do the trick. Trying to, I'm getting some of your custom characters. Ooh, I hope that works. And accept that, and it does its magic. Like your old, we'll see. Yes, indeed. Transfer tool, Genesis 9, choose the skirt. Let's see, I think we're going to use a tight dress long tight template. We'll use that one. All right, I think let's do a little bit of, so we have to clean up our material names. So let's pop over here, do that, geometry tool, tool settings, and we've got to just get rid of this extra MD garbage. Damn it, I fat fingered that. Panku attachment. Do I want to call that Panku or do I want to just change that to class? You know, I'm going to just call that clasp. Because I'm not doing a proper Panku or frog class. Clasp. Let's do that. All right, looking good. Let's get the clean the skirt up. Same thing here. We're going to rename that clasp. And man, I got a lot of. There we go. I'm going to call you clasp. You are just skirt trim. You're just skirt waist. Doop. Okay, I think we're good. So here we're going to do, you know what? I can rename these things. I need some Genesis 9 morph names, and I need specifically that right there. So let's try this. I'm going to copy that. This is the name of the morph for the female shape. And then here, we'll come over. Okay, so I've done that. We've added our D-force. We're going to come into surfaces. I'm going to apply the generic shader. The big thing with my generic shader is it hides a whole bunch of stuff I don't need to see, so it's just a lot easier to work with. I don't have to spend a lot of time scrolling through here is what it really does. It puts most everything that I'm going to drop maps on right here. Usually there's like 5 to 7 things that might get maps. And well, of course, if I'm doing something like cool silks or whatever, there are other settings. But for your basic generic settings, this works. So that's done, that's done, that's done. Let's add our, we'll do a couple things. We'll do the sub D thing. I think it does both at once. And also we'll do the smoothing modifier on those. So that's all done. Okay, so now I'm going to, here, we're just going to dial in, dang it. We're going to dial in the female shape and load in the morph targets for that. Or do I need those? I don't know. I might smooth that out just a little bit, but I think these edges are looking a little funky. I am going to load in the, because it's going to smooth this edge out. This edge got a little pulled out with the base shape. So we are going to update that. So let's do the top first. And we're going to load in a morph target. I'm going to choose. And we are totally in the wrong project because this is what I was working on earlier today. Come over in dresses, Neo Asia, and whip. So I'm going to use this here as the one that fits the female shape. So I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to change the name of that to be the morph name. So this is what I was copying that morph name from earlier. So there we go. I'm going to move this over here so we can kind of watch that change when we accept. It said wrong geometry. Damn it. And yet it somehow, it broke it. That's what it did. Let's try exporting this once again. And you know what? I probably didn't export this out of here. I had to re-export everything, and I did it from an older version. So we're going to launch that older version, and I'm going to re-export out the female shapes of these. Because I probably, no, you held together. Oh no, that's right. Because the yeah, I know what I'm doing. Sort of. So file, you should probably in recent, right? Nope, you're not in recent anymore. So I'm just going to say open project. Oh, it's because I moved you, because you can't be found anymore. Because I put everything over into this dress folder. So I want that one right there. And I'm just going to double check. Let's look. That's the way it's supposed to look. All right, go back. Select all of this. Let's see if this works. File, export, OBJ selected. And I'm going to override that one right there. All right, now let's see if this works. Now we'll reload in this morph target. Not that one right there. There it is. I found it. Change the name. Accept. Oh, it still thinks it's wrong. Damn it. Do I just have to re-export out the goddamn... Oh, you stop that. Did I miss... Did something not get selected maybe? We'll try this again. File, export, OBJ selected. I'm going to overwrite that. Pop back over to here. I might have to re-export this top out again. Nope, it's still wrong. All right, we're going to have to redo. I want to check something else too. I'm going to try to bring in the 8 version of the top. Let's see if that's I think I see what my problem is actually. There it is. I exported this out. There's a piece of trim missing. It's that craptastic selection tool in Marvelous Designer. Fouled me up again. I'm going to just re-export this, save this skirt. File, export, OBJ selected, and I'm just going to overwrite that one right there just to be sure. Okay, now we're going to do file and open project. So we're going to open up this Genesis space. So what had happened is one of these, a little bit of this, probably this trim piece got lost. Or this trim piece over here got lost or something. So we're going to export this again. File, export. I'm going to overwrite that one right there. All right, we're going to try this again. So you're garbage. I'm going to get rid of you. I have to redo that. So import the top again. Okay, we've got this dialed into the female shape. That's fine. Transfer tool. Oops. I'm going to use a what bodysuit type template. Is that what I was choosing earlier? And this will fit, and then it should shrink to the body shape. Because it'll get fitted and then it'll auto fit to the female shape like that. Yep. And now we're going to load in the fix. So this time it should work, right? Load in the morph target, choose that, say open, 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 open that. We're going to make that the morph target for that, except, ooh, that did not go well. Why are you, that got a little rough looking, didn't it? But it did come in, so we're on the right track. I think the skirt, let's just check and make sure the skirt, or if I have to resave the skirt out again. Skirt G8F. I'm just going to do the same thing. We're going to update it with this. See, that looks fine. This one we're going to touch up. So that looks good. It went weird when I simulated it. So we're not going to simulate it this time. At least not until I've exported it. And now we're going to redo this. That's better. That's so much better. We can live with that. That makes such a nice, cleaner line over here. I am getting some weird pulling, but this is much. That'll do, pig. That'll do. All right, let's. So once again, we got to kind of do some stuff that we did earlier. So we're gonna have to clean up these names again. So I'm going to change that to say clasp. And we're going to get rid of that. Likewise, that's just going to become clasp. All right, should be good. A couple other things. We're going to do the convert to sub D. Add the smoothing modifier. Probably fine. I wonder if do I want to touch that up with ZBrush at all? I might. Kind of maybe just smooth some stuff out or straighten some stuff up. I should do that in the base and then redo it here if I have to. Okay, apply the generic, and I'm probably... Oh, and I didn't. And let's replace the D-force on that. And let's just run a sim on that just to make sure. Looks fine. We're going to tweak the settings just a little bit right off the bat. So clear that. I'm going to do both of these at the same time. So the one thing that stops most of my explosions is adjusting the bend stiffness to be a lot lower than that. 0.1 is normally what I will set it to. Okay, we're going to make that collar a little stiffer, and I think I'm going to make those a little stiffer as well. I think collar we're going to make a dynamic strength of maybe 0.6. These, maybe this. No, I think I'm going to leave those alone, but I think these, I'm probably good on the rest of that. Likewise, the waistband, I'm going to set that to be like 0.6. And let's kind of take a look at, I might tweak these and I might not. I haven't quite decided yet. So that waist should hold a lot better. I'm going to add a little bit of compression in, or expansion, and actually will be negative expansion because it's hanging just a little loose. So we're going to take that and we're going to take the trim and we'll come down here to contraction expansion ratio. So we'll do a little contraction, we'll say 95% on those. And it should just pull a little tighter. That was maybe too tight. Maybe not. Maybe I'll live with that. So if I do, actually, let's dial you back a little bit. Let's take it off of this. So I say 100 on that. And we run this with the 95 on here. Nah, I don't like that. Cancel that. let's tweak both of those to say be maybe 98. That's looking a little too loose. All right, we'll dial. I'm just dialing this down until I like it. So 98 still. 97 looks good. I think we will. I've got a little bump in there that almost looks like it's a nipple, but it isn't really. Likewise, if we set you to say 97, that and that. Let's see how that works out. Nope, we're not going to do that. Maybe not. That's not too bad, actually. I'm going to do a little more tweaking. I'm going to add a little bit more collision offset in here. The default's 2 millimeters. I'm going to kick that up to 3. And likewise, I'm going to set these to maybe be 4, just to make sure that they do pop up a little higher. And let's see how that works. Okay, we're not going to do that. The four is causing me issues. That's what's going on over here. I wish I could cancel that. Cheap viewers. Did somebody call my viewers cheap? Where are you? You're over on Twitch. Kill the bot. Kill the bot. Kill. Oh, and Charles isn't with us tonight. He's got another early night. Worked all day and he's got to be back in at work tomorrow. Tonight he's got another early night. Oh, I can hear myself now. Worked all day and he's got to be back in at work tomorrow. All right, let's ban that bot. Boom. Okay, we're definitely going to change that setting. That's setting this to 4 might have been the problem. It might just be the 3, but we'll find out. If this ever stops, oh no. Maybe it's the 3. I think because I can almost see these numbers. Or most of these are slower than the 3. Yeah, that was bad. All right, let's clear that. Let's switch that back to 3. I'm going to be bold, and we'll run this again and see if it does that one more time. Actually, let me save this before I lose it. Okay, let's set these all. All right, they are all 3. All right, I'm going to try this once more. If it does that again, we have to push it back to 2. It's doing it again. So three's the problem. So we'll switch it back to 2. I'm going to see if I can actually just make these larger. Well, that's happening. I want to look at my geometry in Blender. Oops. Oh, I have my dialog box is still over here. Doi. I'm looking for dresses, right? And I want to look at this. I want to look at that one. And now I've already forgotten what I'm looking for. Maybe. See, this gets kind of stretched because of the tension. It's causing. Oh, I remember. I wanted to just double check and make sure I don't have any weirdo flipped normals or something. And we don't. We're good. So I don't know. Maybe. Are you just actually. Yeah, you're just actually getting rolled under there. You know what? Maybe back in Marvelous Designer, I can pull this out and get that to be better. Are you done? You're exploding. Yeah, of course you are. All right, we'll switch those back to 2. Oh, and it's doing it again now. What the hell? Is it the contraction expansion ratio is messing me up or something? No, I mean, it was just fine. Why are you all... Oh, I know what it is. It's point 2. It's point 3, not 3, not 2. Duh. That's not millimeters. That's centimeters. Doi. And part of why this is looking weird is because it's kind of getting pulled under. I think if we can tweak it in Marvelous Designer to get this pulled out a little further, it'll look better. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to tweak the base mesh a little bit, but we'll see once we survive this little disaster of too much collision offset. All right, is it going to go boom? Kaboom! There we go. Okay, you're supposed to be 0.3, not 3. So let's try this. He said boldly. There we go. See that? That's what it's supposed to do. All right, I'm going to cancel that. And now let me see if I make the clasps 0.4. Give them a little bit more. Is that still good? I think this is going to be fine. All right, I want to try to clean that up a little bit. But before I do that, I'm going to maybe try to clean that up a little bit. So if I do this Yeah, you just all right. Yo, Art, how are you doing? Good to see you, buddy. If I make you eh, moving slow. I don't know. I'm gonna try some pens. Let's do that, and let's switch you over to normal. I know what's going on. It's because of the way I have this layered. Which is kind of annoying, not gonna lie. And before you knew it, it was 8. Yo, good to see you, Art. All right, let's do some tacking. I'm gonna be tacky here. Yo, it's Rod Shelley. You know, that helps a little bit. I wonder if I. Yeah, actually, that might do. So we're going to re-export this out. I'm going to override that. You just got back from the Red Robin. Nice. Isn't that a burger place? It's like casual dining burger. We don't have those out here. I think we had them in California, though. I think we're good. I think we're good. All right. Let me stop you. Yes, and their food is out of this world. Oh, that's good. Let's come back over here. So I'm going to maybe let's take this into Blender, clean that up a little bit, and then re-update it. You can hurt yourself seriously. So here in Blender, so you're garbage now because I've already updated you. But what I want to look at is that one right there. I'm going to tab in. want to clean this up. You know what? Let's do the same thing. Um, let's load that back up into here. Do I want to save you? Yeah, I'm going to hit save on this, and we'll open up the, and I'm going to try to do the same thing with pins. I hope pins don't export. File, open, project. That one right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin this stuff to pull it over that way. So I think we'll split up, we'll strengthen that up. And we'll strengthen these up. And then we'll come over here to pins. And just kind of run those across like that. And let's see how this goes. And then I'm going to tweak this in Blender to get those a little smoother. Yeah, that's the ticket. All right, that's good enough. So we're going to update the geometry and update some other things. Then we're going to so file, export, OBJ selected. I hope I got everything this time. Top Genesis 8. Let's say yes to that. Okay, let's pop over into Blender and clean it up a little bit. That's not my Blender. You're my Blender. So that's a little better. What I think I'm going to do is slide these over. This is going to get a little stretchy. Actually, what I'd probably do is maybe just slide these over. Maybe a little bit like that. A little bit like that. I'm going to maybe scoosh you over just a hair. And I want this to be straighter, so you know what? I'm going to cheat this to be, we'll just do that G stretch on there. And then kind of just slide that out a little bit. Actually, I don't want to do it that way. Never mind. I'm just going to manually slide these over one at a time. And then I want to kind of do the same thing up here. And I'm going to touch this up just a little bit with a little bit of smoothing. Where are you? Okay, that's what I thought. So you're probably fine. So let's pop over here to the sculpt tool. I actually want to see the, but I don't want the X-ray. And we're going to come over here. Are you my smoothing? You are my smoothing. Make that a little bit larger. And then I'm just going to kind of relax that out a little bit right through there. Suddenly I can't navigate in anything anymore. I think that's a little better. Let's export that out and update the geometry. I'll probably recalculate the smoothing modifier too. Object mode, export. I'm going to be bold and I'm just going to overwrite that one right there. Oops, I'm going to do this again because I'm going to make sure that I have my DAZ preset selected. Export that. Let's pop back over into here. Select that. We're going to update the geometry now. Just the vertex positions. With that, hopefully this works. Except that it did not work. Why you no work? Did I have the right thing selected? I may not have had the right thing selected. I may have broke something also. Oh, it's not matching. Why you no match? Why? Uh, did I not select something again? I don't know. All right, you know what? I'm just going to export that out and clean it up a little bit. Let's try that. Plan B. So we're going to turn the smoothing modifier off. And the mesh resolution back to base. And I'm going to export that out. I'm just going to go and overwrite. Overwrite that. So pop back into here. All right, you are not good. Hopefully you are. All right, so I'm just going to try to kind of do what I was just doing. I think I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to get some weird stretching in here. I'm a little annoyed that that didn't work. Is it because of the pins? Let's take out the pins and see if that was it. Wouldn't it be cool if I could just delete them all at once? All right, let's try this. All right, let me see. So is that a useful? Nope, still complaining about it. All right, let's export you again. Well, actually, I have you exported and you're sitting in Blender. Never mind. Did I not turn you on? That's not what I wanted. Try that again. I'm trying to lower my fall off is what I'm doing. Although you're not quite right. You got to tweak you just a little bit further. Boom. Boom. All right, let's see if we can maybe pull you out a little. Oops. Oops. And I'm probably janking things up really bad. We'll see how this works. All right, let's see if I can update with that. I'm going to cancel you, select you, try to use the update for what I just saved. So that improved it, I think, a little bit. All right, now we're going to dial you back into the female shape. And I'm not sure if that female correction morph I make is going to work anymore or not. So load the morph target, come over here. I'm going to grab that. Open it. Do I still have the on the clipboard? I do. Yay. Are you going to actually work this time? No, you're not working anymore. Damn it. Damn it, Janet. That might be okay, though. I think I'm going to live with that. I'm probably going to touch it up just a little bit with ZBrush at some point. Anyhow, we're gonna stop screwing around with this. I think this is gonna work. Let's just double check. So that seems to be fine. So turn that off. I think I've got everything else set up in here, right? We have our mesh smoothing is on. My mesh resolution. Nope, I gotta put that back on. I need to be over here. Over here. Edit geometry, add the smoothing modifier. It says it's on. Okay, it was there. It just wasn't memorized. You know what? We'll just memorize that figure so I know it's on. And we'll just double check that one. See, that was... So now I'm going to memorize that so that it's on. All right, let's just save this stuff. Control Shift after that. Put it back to there. Let me just do a quick render and see if there's any... Probably okay. All right, let's go ahead and save these out. Are you my content library? You are. And this is the Genesis 9. So here, we're going to do this. Oh, hit this button over here. And where's my dresses? Where's my dresses? There's the dresses. There's the Neo Asia people, G9 clothing, me. There we go. Neo Asia G9 top. Top G9. Okay, projects. Vendor name is Chris Cox. Project is Neo Asia. Item name is Neo Asia Top G9. You are a shirt. And the rest of this is probably good. Okay, we're going to save the skirt. Does this say skirt, by the way? It does say skirt. Okay, excellent. Once again, I am the vendor. This is Neo Asia. I don't know why you're doing such a piss poor job of getting your default values today. G9. I think we're good. All right, let's see if we can get all of this on the Genesis 8 without me losing too much hair. You know, this is all Marvelous Designer's fault because I'm having to pop between versions because of the stupid error in the not letting me weld sews that are on internal lines. I mean, I guess I could just cut and sew all of that shit. So I might end up redoing what I'm doing right now. We'll see. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to put you on. It's going to say, hey, do you want to convert? I'm going to say, yeah. Let's use that G9. And you are a knee-length skirt. We'll accept that. This will totally need to be updated because it's going to have weird stretching in it. So we're going to select that, and let me see if I can just update the geometry. Oops, I forgot to actually select something, right? Skirt G8. Where's my G8? Oh, and I have to scale that, right? We'll see if this works. There's a fair chance it's going to give me an error, but you need to be 10629.9. Oh, I think that worked. Yay. All right, let's do the top. The top was getting funny, so I'm a little less convinced that this will work as well as it should. Actually, that doesn't look too bad, though. Let me see if I can load in my new shape as a morph target. That did not work. Okay, I had a feeling that wasn't going to work. However, that shape isn't too bad. So I think I don't really need to update that. The skirt was really important because the difference in the legs, but that worked out. We'll just double check. It should still have the D4 settings on it. So that's looking okay. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I'm gonna do something weird. I'm not gonna save this. I'm gonna open up a file that has a couple of figures already in it. I'm gonna try to get the morphs on that converted into these really quick. Then I'm gonna bring those over to here. So let me do file open. Say no. We're gonna go to projects and promos. And I have something in here. Add basic morphs. I'm gonna try this. So if I put this on one of these basic morph figures, it'll auto fit a bunch of my adjustment morphs automatically. And then when I convert it to Genesis 8, those will already be in there. So I'm seeing if this will save me like part of a step. Not really. Because I still have to do the shapes. Yeah, I know. It looks really weird. So I want to take that one right there. It says body dress. Uh, and then this bodysuit, I'm going to put the top on. Excellent. Then I'm just going to save these back out again. Raider X, welcome. And now I forgot what I was doing because that's what happens. All right, my morphs are in here. I'm going to just save these. I'm just going to come in here. And for this, okay, here we're going to do this. I'm just going to save these as figure prop asset, modified assets. Yes, we're going to do that. I'm going to say base. I'm going to come over here. I am looking for, I think it's just adjustment, right? Yep, that looks good. I'm just going to save these. And I'm just going to do the same thing with this one here. Doing that there. Come over here. Once again, and you of course say adjustment and adjustments because I still haven't cleaned this one up. I probably should clean those up and resave this at some point. But anyhow, that gives me my adjustment morphs into the clothes now, so that should be good. Now I'm going to fit this over to the Genesis 8. I actually have a Genesis 8 hidden in here somewhere. I think we'll just hide all of you. We'll just bring you back up. No, I'm not gonna touch that. We're just gonna load in another Genesis 8. I'm gonna rig these to Genesis 8 and then maybe add some body morphs in there, save those out. And at some point we're going to, after I do that, I want to try to get this saved out and get it in the substance tonight. So that's part of what's on tap. What did I get you? Oh yeah, that's right. I'm gonna have to fit. So we're gonna auto fit this from Genesis 9. Accept that. We're gonna update this with the better shape. I would update this with the better shape, but it doesn't work and it's not that bad anyhow. You always get the bad stretching in the legs here on skirts when you're going from 9 to 8. So I'm going to update that base geometry with the one I saved out for Genesis 8 earlier. That one right there. Okay, you are scaled. My scale number is still in there. Excellent. There we go. That's much better looking. Okay, you're just going to go from Genesis 9, and you are going to be a full body. And that doesn't look too bad, so I think I can live with that. All right, let's save these out over here in the Genesis 8 folder. And I'm going to just double check here. Actor adjustments. So how are you looking? So those was all those adjustment works we just kind of stole. So, and then this has got a crap name, and those got crap names, so I've got to clean those up still. I will probably do that later. I don't know, maybe, I'm not sure when, because tomorrow I'm trying to finish up an outfit to get submitted to Daz, which isn't this outfit. Save. I'm saving. There we go. Save as a figure prop asset. There we go. Um, over into this folder here. Neo Asia. I think I've got the top, but I can't remember now. Hard G8, and I have to spell out email because that's the law. I do have the top selected. Yay. All right, product is Neo Asia. There we go. Looks good. You are a wardrobe top, wardrobe shirt, and the rest of this should be good. Okay, let's get the skirt. So you're just kind of the same, but you're going to say skirt. And the product again is Neo Asia. That is me. That says skirt. I'm going to change you to say wardrobe skirt and accept that. I think that's good. Is my D4 still fine? It should be. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I'm gonna check something. Do I have all right, we're going to quickly add the full body morphs in here. This is where this weird, there you are. Someday I should clean those up. Well, nope. That's Genesis 9. This is Genesis 8. What do I have on here? I have the body suit. I have the body. All right, we're going to put the top on the bodysuit. and save those. Where did my content library go? There you are. Okay, and then we're going to put the skirt on this dress thing here. And I'm just going to save some of these morphs, but not all of them. Although at this point, I probably can just save everything. Let's take a look. What do we got over here? Why are you guys over there? I don't know. One of these days, I should clean all this up. Might save a little bit of time. Anyhow, we're going to do those. So we already did the adjustments, so I don't need to do... You know what? It probably doesn't make any difference. I'm going to get those. What do we have hiding and hidden? These I definitely don't need. And then we're going to take a look at this top and save those morphs. Okay, so the adjustments, I don't know why you're in adjustments, but I do need you too. Hidden, autofit, don't need that. Actor, I probably can just save all of those. So that kind of gets me my starter morphs all loaded in. And I should be good. I'm optimistic I'm not going to have to save anything because it's all, we just saved it. Fingers crossed. Anyhow, I'm going to do file new. We're going to set these up and send them over into Substance. I don't want to resave this file because it's got my weirdo starting morphs in it. So I'm going to say file new and that, and we're going to say no. And then what we do is we'll clean up the body morphs with ZBrush using GoZ. But that's for another day. So these has got body morphs, but they're kind of janky, but they get me a nice start. They're smoother than the shrink wrap breasts you get if you don't use. Of course, Genesis 9 doesn't have those big issues either. You like that classy mug, Rod? I'm showing a little T and a little N-A. T-N-A. Bay, bay. There you go. What am I doing? Oh, yeah, I'm going to load that. And I'm going to load that. We're going to give these colors. And then we're going to export it out. So start here. Where's my generic colors? There we go. Do a little bit there. Sorry, you lost the signal. Signal? You lost the signal? I'm sorry, Art. You know, I'm going to blame Mitch. How much longer has Mitch gotten before he leaves? And I don't mean the planet, I mean the Congress. See, he's not running again, right? I think his job is up for grabs. Yeah, you're back inside the house. Oh, yeah, baby. Art in the house, baby. All right, I'm ready to export that. You know what? I think we're going to do a couple of things though first. Grab both of these. Nope, maybe we do one at a time. Scene. I am where. Am I in parameters? I am in parameters. Oh, I saw general right there. Mesh smoothing. Turn the mesh smoothing on. Turn the mesh resolution back to base. Come over here to this. To this. And put you back to base. And turn that off. And then we're going to export that out. And where am I? I'm there. Let's do new folder, Substance. And you know what? I have to load it up and save it back out from Blender anyhow, so I'm just going to do this. What are you again? Neo Asia. Thanks, Art, by the way. Outfit, and this, I want to say IDs on that. And we are writing surfaces. Yay. Let's switch back to here. Let's delete you. And let's import. See how faceted that is? I bring it into here so I can just do that. And then we save it back out. Substance actually pays attention to that. What is that doing anyhow? Is that, do I have like sharps on all these lines? Is that what it's doing? I'm not sure what it's doing. Anyhow, I know this just works out better when I do that. All right, then we're just going to export you back out twice. So activate export. You did not come in with colors, did you? Why not? I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to try exporting out again. You thought your computer was going to die? Oh no! You didn't have a problem with the small test runner? So do you think you just pushed it too far? Putting the next TNA panel. Panel 1 has 7. That's not breaking computer. That's just overwhelming it. Let me try this again. I'm gonna hit the export here. I'm gonna do that. You know what? I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna write my material library this time. And we're gonna come back over here and re-import. That's better. Now we're gonna shade smooth. Then we're gonna export twice. Once with that, materials on, export. Once with that, materials off. I'm gonna put an NM on there. It tells me no materials. Tell that to the computer that it'll be fine, computer. It'll be fine. All right, I'm done here. I'm going to put this off to the side. Am I saving you? You just look weird. I'm not going to save you. I can't tell what I did here. All right, I got about 20 minutes left. It should be time just to get Substance up and running. I want to put a pattern in there too to see how crappy it looks. If it looks really crappy, I may have to just redo some stuff in Marvelous Designer and redo a bunch of things. Close that. I may be able to smooth it out with Blender or Substance. We'll see. Or what you call it, ZBrush, maybe ZBrush. File new. Select. Let's come over here and go down the dresses. Neo Asia. Whip, and in the Substance folder, and we want this one here with no materials is the one that I have to load in first. And then we're going to bake. All right, let's bake those. And I can't see chat anymore because I put this in the way. M what? Everybody gets an M instead of an AM. K. You get an M, and you get an M, and even you get an M. And no, not you, but you get an M, and you get. When you recognize that guy, the cut in the line at the coffee shop. All right, I think we're still baking, aren't we? No, we're done baking. Okay. Let me put this over here so you can see all of Substance Painter. All right, let's get the ID map in here. There's a smoothing modifier that I haven't been using. I've been seeing people talk about like lowering something like that on the curvature map. I'll try that. I'm gonna do this a couple of times. Actually, it's too late now. How is my curvature looking, by the way? See, that's a little rough looking. Let's rebake that. Did that? Yeah, that didn't really do anything. Did that do anything? Yeah, that did even worse. Isn't this what I just did? Oh, there we go. That's a little better. Yeah, can't tell. All right. All right. Let me get that ID map baked in here. So we need. I'm going to set you to 4K. We're going to load up that version with the colors in it. I'm going to tweak the settings on this to be almost 0, but not quite. All right, then I bake that. There we go. I think we're good. All right, let's go into paint mode. Let's switch you back to materials. Actually, I do need to save this ID map, so let's get that saved out. File, export texture. I'm going to come over here and choose, I have a preset for just ID map. There we go. Export. I have to save you because you have that stupid generic name. Let's save you. File, save as. Dresses. New Asia. Whip. Substance. New Asia. Right, now we're going to do that. Redo that. I'm going to open this up. You're empty. What do you mean you're empty? There we go. All right, so that one I don't need because it's got a bad name on it. This is the one I want right here. And let's switch to material. Oh, I also need a UV template. Let's knock that out. We still have this in Blender, so there we go. Come to UV editing, Select everything. So that's the clasp. I'm going to do a. It's going to get a lot more detail than the rest of the outfit. This is going to be good. But anyhow, will it do that? Export. Export UV layout. That's what I'm looking for right there. 4096. 4096. And let's go find my folder. There's that template folder we created just a little earlier. I need to put a folder in here for Neo-Asia. And you're going to be Neo-Asia outfit UVs. Not the Clash. I saw the Clash in '82 when they opened for the Who. I think this is good. Do that. I'm going to try to get my displacement map done real quick here. Or maybe not. Actually, let's find a material in here. Do I have a silk? Do I have any nice patterns? I do actually. Let's put the generic silk on here to start with. I don't know if I'm going to keep that or not. And we'll put the normal on there. Wow, in '82, you were meeting the Snow Bunny. And now you got the grandkids. Yeah, I'm done with this. I don't think I need this. And if I do, I can just reopen it. I think I'm fine with this. What was I doing over here? I was going to look for a pattern just to see how, if the patterns are looking really crappy or not on the UVs. I'm really worried about how it's going to look over here. So I got some nice little flowers here. Let's just put you in over here, see what you look like. And we'll tile that up a little bit. And you know what? That doesn't, it looks a little stretched down in here. I think that's going to work. All right, well, I have you saved. I can just hit save on this. And we've got 8 minutes left, so I think I'm going to try to knock out the displacement map in 8 minutes or so. So for that, we're going to need a little bit of Photoshop. I want to save that as a material file in case I want to use it again. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? We'd be clever. Actually, I'm going to, yeah, this will be fine. Did you guys not change? Oh, I know what happened. Doy. That's better. Did my Photoshop open up yet? I think it did. Where'd you go? There we are. Something in here should say ID, right? Did I not move you over here? I don't think I moved you over here yet, did I? I did not. All right, let's cut you. Let's come back over here and do a paste. Let's pop down into here in the template folder. Let's open that up in Photoshop. Why is it I can never see open with? Why is open with not next to open? That's what I want to know. My password has M. Yeah. Oh no. Is it time to get the new keyboard? I can't. I can't log into Amazon to get the new keyboard. Oh no. You have to drive out to the computer center or something. Exactly. I was going to shop online, but all my passwords have the letter that I can't type in them. Did I not put the ID in here? It's over here. There you are. Okay. First things first. I'm going to fill all that in with black. Why are you not? Oh, it's because I have to rasterize you. Damn it. Where's the thing that says rasterize? There it is. That's better. Okay, Control Shift I. I'm going to pop over here. New layer. Let's fill you in with white. Let's put just a layer in here with nothing but black. Let's add a little bit of shadow, inner glow on those. I think this is good. We'll start with this. This, I got to do a lot of work on that to get these to look right because I'm going to try to make it detailed, and we're going to build a displacement map, and uh, I'll just steal color settings from something else, but I need a trans map and a displacement map for this. This is good. This is good. All right, let's save you. File. If I just say file save, is it just going to go right there? Yes. Into my whip folder? No, it's in the template folder. I want you in the whip folder. Then I'm going to file save you as a copy. Save as a copy. And then let's put you down. Nope, not there. Right here. I need a new folder. Neo Asia. And in here, we're going to put a folder. New folder. Neo Asia outfit. We're going to make another folder that will have boots in here. Let's put that there. Let's save you as a JPEG. Let's save you as a JPEG. There you are. I got to rename that to say displacement or something. So that's going to say disp. Disp for displacement. Yay. All right. It's almost time. All right. We're just going to... Did I not put my... My things got funky. There we go. We're going to load that in right there. And I'm going to set that displacement level to 6. Tends to be a good number. Let me do a quick, actually, let's just give this a light grayish color. And then I'm going to render that. And we'll see what we've got. And we're going to call it a day right about here. So it's a start. We're getting there. I probably should clean that up. That kind of got janky looking, didn't it? I'll probably just stretch that out. And you're looking a little harsh down here. What's going on? Oh, I know. It's because my smoothing modifiers are off, right? All right, let's see. Hey, thanks everybody for being here. I appreciate it. It was good to see you, Art. Rod Shelley was in the house, baby. I saw Lund, and we had a Raider X226 popped in here. Oh, and he made a comment. Jagged is look flat shading blender since the model is low poly. Yeah, I kind of get what it's doing. Right. Blender recalculates the normals. Got it. Thanks. And then Substance picks that up when it comes in with a smoother, the normal, I don't know, the vector smoothing or something like that. I don't know the exact term. Anyhow, it was good to see you, and thanks for the comments. I appreciate that. So hey, anybody on the YouTube, I appreciate you. Like and subscribe. If you're on Twitch, we're gonna go find somebody to raid and say howdy to them. Let's see who is on. It is a Thursday night. Is my good friend Bad Tooth Records on? AKA Dr. DK. I see Josh Uwu is on. That's another option. That's an art friend. He's doing. I think he's doing art tonight. But he's got 31 people, which is an awful lot of people. But I don't see Bad Tooth Records on. I hope he's doing okay. I didn't see him last week either. So maybe I see Chris the Lone Arm Lone Star is playing games. You know, we'll just go over and say hi to Josh Uwu. If you want to hang out with another a fellow artist, Josh is kind of cool. On Saturdays he does a movie night. The rest of the week he does art. It looks tonight it looks like he's doing Legos tonight. So anyhow, if you could stick around for the raid on the Twitch, that would be awesome. We have the raid calls. There is that. If you're there's the sub raid call. If you're a sub, you can use that. Hey, I've got a Discord. Feel free to join. And I sell stuff on Daz. Feel free to check that out too. I will be back Saturday. We will probably be working on this outfit. The tentative plan is to start the boots. So this outfit's going to be a top, skirt, and boots set. That's the general plan. I'm having issues with the top, so I may actually go back and rework a lot of the top again. The skirt's looking fine. The top just it's pulling so tight, it's getting really bunchy. So I may redo that, and the mesh is kind of not working right, so I may have to just rebuild the top completely. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully that'll be done before Saturday stream. Anyhow, hey, let's do this. Let's go over and say hi to Josh. If you can stick around for the raid, that would be awesome. And there we go. Control C. Let's put that over there. And I will be back Saturday at 1 p.m. And then, of course, 8 p.m. Saturday, we have our Saturday night social. It's in our chair. It's a Discord chat. It's an old cartoon. So if you go to the Discord, you drop something in the gallery. We then share that on Saturday. So that would be cool. Yeah, so I think that's good. Anyhow, I hope you all have a good rest of a Thursday or Friday for those of you on the happy side of the planet. And hasta la vista, baby.